Hello everyone. In this video tutorial, we will discuss on how AI tools will be helpful for you in your day-to-day programming task. So for that thing, I am going to analyze a different type of tools. One such tool is called cursor. Okay, one tool is actually cursor. So if you want to download and use cursor, there are a lot of tutorials available in the internet and YouTube where you will be able to directly download the cursor and then you will be able to install and configure it. It is pretty straightforward. And there are other tools like cursor is basically an AI editor tool where you will be able to give the commands and it will automatically get the things done for you. Unlike there are other tools like Copilot where you will be it will guide you on what are things that needs to be changed and then you have to do the things manually. So that's how Copilot is actually working. In this case, this tool will guide you to do what all things. Whenever you give a command, it will guide you to do what all things you need to do. Then it will automatically generate the summarize all sort of things. Then it will execute the command on your behalf based on the instructions which you actually given to the system. So likewise, this is so first thing which I want to analyze here is we already have an existing project. It's a digital signage player which was actually developed in Android, Java Android, which was actually last compiled in 2020, which we want to port it to the make it compatible with the latest version of Android Studio, and we need to make it compatible with the latest Gradle build environments, Gradle build automation environments. So initially, what I tried was I tried to manually make it compatible, but I was not able to do that to a certain extent. So what I did was I actually reverted back to my original change. Then why I asked Cursor to do that task. But so I actually given some prompt here like this. Okay, in Cursor, and it was able to help us to a certain extent. I think more than 90% of the task it is actually done. So let me show you some of the things which are actually done with Cursor by looking on the difference from subversion network. So we were able to develop, we were able to port it to a certain extent to the latest version of Android Studio as well as Gradle build environment. So these are some of the things. So these are some of the things. These are things are actually you just look at only the modified things, modified file changes. That is actually this cursor. This tool was the one which actually automatically did most of the task for us. Some of the things I had to do it manually. So most of the straightforward tasks. So it seems that this sort of upgrading of this sort of build tools like from one configuration builder environment to another configuration builder environment seems to be a straightforward task for these sort of AI editing tools, and it seems to generate a reasonable code. It seems to generate reasonable settings change. Maybe if you see that maybe sorry. So sorry, this is a binary thing. So it's actually updated it to SVN. Sorry. If you take up the Java changes, if you see that it was automatically able to upgrade it to the new version of Java libraries by setting the appropriate import libraries. See this? Okay. So previously the library was there, but when it is actually upgraded, the import libraries package is actually changed a bit. So that is it was actually automatically identified and changed it in even some of the API call as well. It is actually done. And when we try to upgrade it, we have to do some changes in the manifest. This one is actually generated by Cursor OA editor, and all we need to do is just observe it and make sure that it is actually the right change. So what we actually done was whatever it changed, we actually accepted it. Then so this is one change. Then this is another change. Let me show you. So again, it is actually just an import change. So these sort of things are straightforward things which might be easy to remember for the sort of easy to manage for these sort of tools like AI editor tools like Cursor. So this is one thing. So these sort of changes, namespace changes or import package changes, probably that library will be there and the method will be there. So all that they need to do was just rearrange the packages and it will make effect. And this is another one. Again, might be having some changes only in the packages, package namespaces. See this Android.support. See this, it now changed to Android X dot annotation dot none. Okay, so likewise, only there might be only few changes. So it was a pretty straightforward port, and I will show you other things. Let me show you the changes. So again, only in both packages. Um, okay. Again here as well. Web view based. There again, some sort of things are actually duplicated. So I need to comment off that portion. So I actually removed that portion. Again, this is done by AI agent like Cursor, and I didn't do anything, but I closely observed this thing because this is a production level code. So I don't want to take any sort of chances in that case. So I just carefully watched what sort of changes it is going to do, and then only allowed it, so that it will this upgradation will have minimal impact. Okay. Then web view, again same thing. Some of the methods are not applicable in the latest version. And again this is basically the browser code. So there are some sort of overridden code in the previous version, which it actually taken it. Now it is not applicable. So it actually identified the correct thing, then actually changed the right portion of the code. See this? Okay. So seems like then to see this of almost all the overridden things which is not applicable in the new version of this library class library is actually identified, and it is done. Previously it was really tough for me to upgrade it, and I tried initially, and I am actually failed. Then I actually come to this thing. It seems to be very easy. These sort of porting related stuff is actually seems to be easy. Especially this the Java build. See this build Gradle build settings. Maybe you can see this sort of. Okay. So it actually changed almost everything from old version to the new version. Do much here again here as well. It's a small change, or then please again a small there. Okay. Sort of things done automatically. Okay, we didn't have to worry about that. Watch it again. Close local dot properties. So these are some of the changes. These are some of the changes. Some of the already manually especially which was actually NDK library, which was not used in native build. It was not used. So actually I had manually commented this portion. So I was able to generate. I was able to generate code. Maybe we can show you the build.gradle as well. So here was also there was a major change, which actually this build tool, this AI editor tool was actually modified it automatically, and we don't have to worry about most of the aspect. Probably I had actually worried about this settings, but I manually reviewed it and then only updated it and compiled it. And I actually created the see this. These are all changes which is automatically done by this for grading. This build tool. And I actually created the APK as well as AIBs file and published in the Play Store, so that the team members will be able to test it. And they have reported that the team it doesn't have much impact. Okay, most of the features are actually working. At least in the initial testing stage, it is seen that most of the things are actually working. So to a certain extent, this tool has helped us, not to a certain extent. These sort of tasks, it has actually really helped us to upgrade the tool to the latest Gradle version. That was actually the last build in 2021, and then now it's June 22 2025 that we have actually built this tool, but maybe so this is what the current scenario with regards to Java. Now let me tell you some more things, some of the other tasks which I actually done, and some of them succeeded and some of them failed. So let me show you that thing. So I'm checking now. I'm just trying to reference C sharp application for this. So this is just a test application, ChatGPT test. So what? Let me show you that. So this is a test application. Some of the code is actually generated. Some of the code ChatGPT test code is actually generated using ChatGPT, and some of the code is actually generated by using Copilot. And finally, I had done some task with Cursor as well. Okay, so let me tell you, explain almost all the things what I actually done with the Copilot and what I actually done with the ChatGPT. So I was able to generate some of the codes which is actually used to query the AI engines. So let's see. Let me show you what this tool is all about. So I have a footer text box. This is basically WinForms C Sharp WinForms based application where we will be able to. It is actually connecting to the OpenAI API, and then we will be able to retrieve chat. It's basically a chatbot where we will be able to ask some questions and it will return things. For example, let me type what is quantum computing. Let me give a ask. Let me ask you. So so just waiting. So I actually use it. So this is what. So it's actually returned. See this. Almost all the all sort of formatting and content display and other stuff is actually OpenAI is. I mean, ChatGPT is actually generated the code for us. ChatGPT or Grok, I believe. I think Grok. Okay, whatever. It will generate the code for you. Automatically generate the code for you. So this code, most of the task is actually done using ChatGPT or Grok. And so that's regarding the AI related task. So and this task, this was previously it's actually on the top new, and this column and sort of things is actually on the top of the top of the window. I mean top portion. I just want to make it to the bottom, and I tried it manually initially using the Visual Studio editor like this. Okay, I tried it manually. It was pretty difficult for me. See this, now it's actually in the bottom, but previously that it was actually in the top. Okay, it was actually in the top. Previously it was really difficult for me to rearrange the things. So I tried a lot for few hours. I'm not able to arrange it perfectly. So what I did is I reverted back the changes and just give us a prompt command to make it towards the bottom in this cursor, and I was able to get these sort of things done. Okay, like this, and this was pretty easy for us for me. And probably there is only a few changes in the designer portion of the code, but this AI editor was um, able to make it happen, able to rearrange the controls and other stuff so as to make it work, and we will be able to place it in the bottom without much effort. Okay, so that is another experiment using C Sharp, .NET, and Visual Studio. Now let's try to see another thing with another tool. I mean another programming language, Visual C++ programming language. So this time, what I was actually done was I had tried to develop a karaoke application using Visual C++, MFC, and DirectX interfaces. So what I did was I just launched the basic dialog-based application, created the dialog-based application using MFC wizard. Then I asked in the dialog, and then I asked in the dialog, let me launch the application. Okay. So this experiment is completely using cursor editor, and let me launch the application. So initially there was a blank application, blank dialog application with only just OK and cancel. Then I asked cursor to develop a karaoke applications with so and so things like a camera interface. Then like it needs to have a microphone option, selection option. Then it needs to have speaker selection option. then audio file, then it needs to have this sort of an option. All these things are actually done using AI editor. Like so it was able to. This is basically a commentary. It was actually enumerating all the camera interfaces, and it was able to list it. It was able to design this dialog. All these things are actually done by code editor. I mean, this one cursor. Then once these all these things are pretty straightforward, at least for AI editor. Previously, when we do the programming, it was actually pretty difficult task for us, because we have to find out all the DirectX interfaces. We had to try. Then we need to learn a lot about COM. Then we need to learn lot of other intricacies related to COM, not just C++. So it is a pretty complicated things to call it using the COM callbacks and interfaces. Okay, so that was the scenario before OpenAI or AI related tools. But these sort of tools doesn't care the complexity as we people are actually thinking about. It doesn't care how complex it is going to be. It if you instruct them, it will. If it is straightforward, then develop a design a dialogue like this. Then it will restore all these sort of things. All these codes will be all these codes will be available to you. Okay. Let's see. Let me show you. See this. Okay. So this is I'm actually actually displaying it from the back. So this is my room. Okay, okay, whatever. Okay, so so the things get worse. Okay, things started changing. Things started not behaving when we ask this camera to be placed inside this preview. Okay, so this preview things started not behaving, or things the AI actually not behaved correctly when we asked it to place the preview inside this window. Okay, so that essentially means that it is not a direct call, it is actually an indirect call. So we need to have different type of logic. We need to combine different logic to produce the desired output. Okay, at that time, in these sort of scenarios, it actually failed. Okay, and I tried to place it. I tried to place these sort of previews inside this window. I mean, the preview type window, this group box, or this control, this preview, but I was not able to get the desired output, and it actually failed. And I tried to for three or I think I tried different type of prompts using this AI editor for at least 2 or 3 hours. Unfortunately, I was not able to place it. So I came to the conclusion that if you are given this AI tool a straightforward task like filling up this, enumerating this all the cameras, or enumerating or the microphone, or eliminating the speaker and other stuff. These are all straightforward tasks which an entry level engineer will be able to easily do it. Okay, so that sort of things, it will definitely help us. Okay, especially if we are having really good documentation in the internet, and if the AI tool is actually trained in that, a tool like Cursor or ChatGPT or Grok is actually trained in these sort of examples, then it will automatically generate code for you, at least in these scenarios, straightforward scenarios. When it when you combine when you the moment you start giving some sort of an indirect task. Okay, no, it's not, may not be a direct task. The moment you start giving indirect task, it is not going to do the task for you. Okay, at least this AI technology, the current AI technology, as of it is June 29 2025, as of this is not going to do the task for you. This sort of indirect task. Direct task might be, you will be able, it will help you, but for the indirect task, it may not be able to help you. I tried with this tool as well as another tool called, there is a similar tool called Windsurf. Okay, this is also there in my Windsurf. Okay, let me show you that. Okay, Windsurf, something like that. So see, this is again another AI editor. This also I tried the same thing with the same tool, this tool as well. Unfortunately, it also failed. Okay, so probably all these are actually using the latest AI engines, different type of AI engines, probably Claude or some other things. But unfortunately, all these tools are actually failing when we are actually giving an indirect task. Okay, not a direct task, an indirect task. So that itself is actually showing that we need to have a human in place. Okay, we may not be able to automate it to 100%. And people in the internet is actually claiming that they will be able to develop AI agents, autonomous AI agents, I don't know to what level they will be able to succeed in this in that aspect autonomously without any human intervention. Will if we can execute it, I don't know to what extent. To what extent it will succeed? Okay, at least with the current technology. That's what I'm thinking about. Okay, so this is what my observations. I have just give you an overall idea. I hope that I have actually given you an overall idea regarding how to do this, how to use these or all these sort of tools at least with the current technology limits. I hope this will be useful. If you are having any doubts, please do let me know. I will be back with another set of video tutorials if it is needed. Okay, thank you.